Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today on Doordarshan, and you're welcome today to witness the third semi-final at the national level of RBIQ. A quiz created by the Reserve Bank of India for students across this nation. 62 cities, over 10,000 students, and we are here now in the national semi-finals. Over the last two semi-finals for South India and the northern region of India, we've had the city of Mangalore and the city of Varanasi qualifying into the national final. Today, we have with us four outstanding champions from the Western Zone. रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने ये क्विज क्यों प्रारंभ किया? कुछ तो खास वजह होगी, कुछ तो कारण होगा. What's the reason? What's the idea? The Reserve Bank of this nation thought it's very important to build a financially robust future for our country. And the way to do that is to invest in our children who are still in school. If they learn fundamentals of banking, nuggets of investing, good strong principles of savings, we will build a more financially prudent country for the future. As India grows and grows at a more rapid pace, it becomes very important for every future citizen to be financially prudent and literate. Since the academic system in our country is slowly factoring these, an institution like the Reserve Bank thought it wise to engage children across the length and breadth of this country in an out-of-classroom engagement, if one should see it that way, to teach them what they quite don't learn in the classrooms. 62 cities. That makes it India's biggest inter-school competition ever. For the moment, 4 teams from the Western Zone. We'll take a look at who they are and then start our final here today. One among these 4 will go into the national final. Who will that be? For the moment, our 4 champions. As our first finalist representing the fascinating state of Gujarat, from Ahmedabad, Sant Kabir School, with Prakash Sinha and Tejas. Welcome to the two of you. As we move across to a city where I don't quite understand how students study, from Goa, representing them are Sri Damodar Higher Secondary School of Science. We have with us Ziban Pes and Akash Arun. Welcome to you too. As we move across to the quite literal central zone of India, from Nagpur, representing Bhavan's BP Vidya Mandir, Anshul and Thanna. Welcome to you too. We move across to another team which comes in from Gujarat for us, representing Vadodara New Era Senior Secondary School, representing them Preet Deepan and Ashwin. Welcome to you too. ये हैं हमारे चारों फाइनलिस्ट आज के हमारे ये तीसरे सेमीफाइनल में. यहाँ से कौन फाइनल में प्रवेश करेगा ये तो आप देखेंगे, हम देखेंगे. आइए खेलते हैं RBIQ. इस क्विज में कुल मिलाकर 5 राउंड होंगे. 2 राउंड पास करेंगे क्लॉकवाइज और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज, और बाकी के 3 राउंड होंगे बजर में. अब हम शुरू करने वाले हैं पहला राउंड एंड वी विल गो क्लॉकवाइज. जो भी सही जवाब देगा उसको मिलेगा 10 अंक. Whether it's a direct or a pass, the value will remain 10 points. We'll pick action on the first frontier as we pick questions from the good old piggy bank. Here it comes. On the piggy bank, I'm going to go clockwise. Questions will start appearing on your screen. And we will start with Sant Kabir School, Ahmedabad, taking first strike. Your question on your screen, here it comes. The Coinage Act of 1835 provided for uniform coinage throughout India. The new coins had the effigy of William IV on the obverse and the value on the reverse in English and one other language. Which language other than English appeared on the new coins after the Coinage Act of 1835?
Hindi.
Hindi. Passing you to Damodar Higher Secondary School.
Urdu.
Passing you on Urdu to Nagpur. You got to think hard.
Sanskrit.
Passing you on Sanskrit to Vadodara.
French.
French. Well, tough first question in the third semi-final. Believe it or not, the answer is Persian. Persia was so important for trade, so your coins had to carry Persian as a language. 1835, the world revolved around Persia. As we go on to our second question. On my right, Goa, question meant for you, it could pass to the other teams. Here we go. ING is the first bank in Europe to offer this type of banking, with INGE as it's called. The assistant on its mobile app, which essentially is an alternative to touchscreen banking. What is this for the first time in the world that ING has experimented with? Goa. It's a new form of banking that people are talking about.
It's a bank for blind people.
It's a bank for blind people. Passing you to the other side, Nagpur.
It offers hologram services.
Vadodara. It's an alternative to touch screens.
NFC.
Passing you on NFC and so on. Well, tough semi-final here. Ahmedabad, if you think these are easy questions, the objective is to make you think. Sochna chahiye.
You get some earpiece along with the touchscreen phone so that it facilitates blind people or the visually impaired. You could hear as well instead of seeing everything happening.
I would have given it to them, but you got to give me a better answer.
We
What
can-
type of...
We can hear what we are doing. We can talk about what we want to do and get a reply from an assistant
bank.
INGE
It uses artificial intelligence.
so that it suggests what banking facility we can get.
Well, too much of a story. Can't give it to you on that. Well, life is very simple. Well, it can be useful to the kind of people that you mentioned, but I'm asking you what type of banking is being created. The answer that I was looking for is the world's first experiment with hands-free banking. Banking always required you to use your hands. You either had to write a check or you had to ask for something, you had to fill in a deposit. This is the world's first hands-free banking experiment which ING is working with. Yes, it can help the blind, it can help a lot of other people. But question moving to Nagpur. The first round is a little tense in our third semi-final. Your question on your screen. He was the finance minister of India in the interim government and prime minister of Pakistan. Who is this unique personality?
Liaquat Ali Khan.
Liaquat Ali Khan was finance minister of India and prime minister of Pakistan. 10 to Nagpur. Liaquat Ali Khan. Good answer from Nagpur to give them their first 10 points. As we move across to our final team, Vadodara. Question to you on your screen now. Fils is the sub-unit of the highest valued currency in the world. Which currency has a sub-unit called fils? Just like we have paisas, they have fils. Which currency in the world is this? Or you can tell me which country also.
The franc.
The franc. They would be happy to be the highest valued currency. Passing you to Ahmedabad.
Kuwaiti dinar.
Kuwaiti dinar. And the sub-unit of a Kuwaiti dinar is fils. Plus 10. Ahmedabad will get a plus 10. Early days in our third semi-final and we seem to have a tentative start. The Western Zone can be like that, especially when you've got two teams coming in from Gujarat. Life will be difficult. and the teams will compete hard in a topic they believe they would know better than the rest of the country. As we move on to the next frontier of our battle here today, we're going to go anti-clockwise. ये राउंड में पहला सवाल आपको आएगा या आप चुनेंगे कि आपका सवाल क्या होगा, वडोदरा, और वहां से हम जाएंगे अहमदाबाद. सही जवाब 10 अंक. स्टार्ट करेंगे आपके साथ. 6 ऑप्शंस मिलेंगे आपको और आपको चूज करना है आपका टॉपिक. 6 options on your screen that you will choose from on the next frontier called Money Matters. On your screen, people, inventions, organizations, India, banks, and 2015 current affairs. 10 points, the value of an answer. Passing sequence anti-clockwise. New era, Vadodara. What's your choice?
2015.
2015. On your screen, here's your question. As recently as November 2015, a new introduction happened to this country by the Prime Minister of our country. What first was made of this scheme? Vadodara. The Prime Minister there. Two important ministers from his cabinet. What is being introduced in India for the first time?
Microfinance bank. I mean, it's IDFC Bank.
Passing you, moving across to Nagpur.
The Mudra Bank. No, the gold bullion coins.
The gold coins.
Gold coins.
First you said Mundra Bank.
No, I'm.
You'll stick to gold coins.
Gold coins.
India for the first time ever releasing gold minted coins. Plus 10. They quickly corrected themselves, stuck to an answer which turned out to be right. So they got a 10-pointer on 2015. That turns green along with Money Matters, so you can't try that again. You've got 5 choices. What do you want to play?
Banks.
Banks is your choice. Here we go. From the world of banks, this is the performance standards of what that you would find at most banks. They go through what is called a performance test. There is a definition of thickness in inches and millimeter. There is a definition of height in feet, square feet rather, area. There's a performance test which ranges from 30 minutes to 60 minutes to 120 minutes, and therefore these are called class 1, class 2 and class 3. What are these in our banks? Nagpur. This is a performance test for what in our banks?
Lockers.
These are tests for the strength of lockers.
Believe.
You believe.
I guess rather. I don't believe.
You don't believe, but you guess.
Yeah.
And you think these are different tests for strength of lockers, vaults, etc. in our banks.
Yeah.
Plus 10. Plus 10. As we move across to our team on my right and Goa, what would you want to choose?
People.
People is your choice, and here we go. From the world of people, in 1994, RBS, the Royal Bank of Scotland, released this currency to mark the 100th death anniversary of a famous person, featuring his final resting place in Samoan Islands. Which legendary person is this?
Captain Cook.
Passing you on Captain Cook, moving across to Ahmedabad.
Roald Amundsen.
Roald Amundsen, passing you to Vadodara. Very famous man. World of people. A very important currency note. Passing you. Moving across. Nagpur again.
Robert Peary.
Not Robert Peary, and that was their question. Well, seated in the comforts of your home, maybe you got that right. This is the one and only R.L. Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson, a man on a famous currency note now. As we move across on my right, and here are the remaining topics for you to choose from. Organizations, India, inventions.
India.
India. On your screen. Here we go. In 1969, the World Bank President, Robert McNamara, visited India to consider financing a very important national operation. Indian organizations did not want any conditions to the loan, and Robert McNamara was famously told, "Give me the money and forget about it," by a famous Indian who spearheaded one of India's most proud national movements. Ahmedabad, who's this great person who said, "Give me the money and forget about it." 1969 World Bank. India would be proud of this. What is this for which a famous person told Robert McNamara, "Give me the money and forget about it"?
Lal Bahadur Shastri.
Famous gentleman, Lal Bahadur Shastri is their answer. It's a famous nationwide operation. That's a big clue. Vadodara.
Indira Gandhi.
Moving across to Nagpur.
Varghese Kurian.
Varghese Kurian.
Yeah.
Context?
Amul, the White Revolution.
The White Revolution
Operation
was
Flood.
going to flag out.
Yeah.
Dr. Varghese Kurian will give you 10 points. Well, outstanding Indian who made us a milk surplus country. India certainly owes it to the genius of that man for what we are today as a country. 2 rounds of quizzing here today in the third semi-final. The battle is tight, but Nagpur seem to have come a shade better prepared than the other teams. And here is why I make that statement. We will take a look at what we call the RBIQ quotient. Coming up on your screen is the scorecard now. On 40, leading the quiz at this stage are the team from Nagpur. They certainly seem better prepared. All the other teams have a lot of work to do if they have to dislodge Nagpur from their position of strength that they have achieved. But the best way to do that is on the buzzer. Everyone has a fair chance. 3 rounds remaining on the buzzer. Anyone can win the game even from here. 40 can mean nothing if you get 2 good hits on that buzzer. As we move on to the next frontier of our battle here today, it's time for the buzzers. It's time to play the Banker's Bank. In this round, you will get 4 questions. 4 sawal on the buzzer. Whoever presses the buzzer first will get to answer. Sahi jawab ke liye 10 अंक, galat jawab ke liye -5. If you press the buzzer while I am speaking, you are telling me you know the answer. So I will stop speaking the moment you press the buzzer. Clear on the rules? If you're ready, all teams, hands on the buzzer from the world of the Banker's Bank. 4 questions that I will read out to you, so pay attention to what I have to read. The first one. Here we go. While on leave from his position as one of the youngest revenue and finance secretaries in British India, this person worked as a secretary for the second roundtable conference attended by Mahatma Gandhi and B.R. Ambedkar. He is best remembered for his history and legacy with the Reserve Bank of India. On table number 2, Goa are giving it a shot. Which illustrious person are we talking about? Go ahead.
C.D. Deshmukh.
Outstanding. +10. +10 to go over on C.D. Deshmukh, a great personality from this country, from RBI. Question number 2, hands on the buzzer. This lady, an RBI director, was referred to by Hillary Clinton as, I have a lot of heroes and heroines around the world, and one of them is dash dash. She made this statement in the context of an idea called Self-Employed Women's Association, SEVA, which has been created by this lady, a phenomenal personality, a revered lady, a director at RBI, famous Indian. I have a lot of heroes and heroines around the world, and one of them is dash dash. 2 parts to her name. She created what is known as SEVA, Self-Employed Women's Association. On my right, Ahmedabad are giving it a go. If they get a 10, it's a good 10 to get.
Ela Menon.
Uh,
I'm sure about Ela. I'm not pretty sure about the surname. Ela.
Ela somebody.
Ela Menon.
Think. I'll give you 5 extra seconds to think. They're young school kids. It's not easy for them to know someone like this, and they're close. They're very, very close.
Ila Arun.
I think you really messed it up on that one, because Ela Arun is a completely different person. Can't give it to you on Ela Arun. -5 to you on that. Well, Ela Arun would be delighted that she created something like this. But the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and only Ela Bhatt. Fantastic lady, coincidentally from Ahmedabad. You're going to not forgive yourself on that one. Here's the next one. Teams, hands on the buzzer. After being the second Indian to win the Adam Smith Prize, he came home and was taken by his neighbor Mulk Raj Anand, a famous author at that time, to meet Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Pandit ji met this Adam Smith Prize winner and offered him to join the government. The Adam Smith Prize winner said, I have made my commitments to be a teacher at my alma mater, and therefore I would not like to join the government. Who declined Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's offer to become a part of his government? Nagpur are on the buzzer.
I.G. Patel.
I.G. Patel will give you a -5. Nagpur. The answer, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Well, life certainly has its own way of bringing the man back to the government of India. After being governor of RBI, he went on to become a great finance minister and, of course, the longest tenure as Prime Minister of our country. As we go on to the final question, teams, hands on the buzzer, the Bankers Bank. In September 2015, which country's central bank received $1.1 billion from the Reserve Bank of India in a currency swap agreement between the two central banks? It's one of India's important neighboring countries. On my right, Goa are giving it a go.
Bangladesh.
We'll give you a -5 on that. They went for it on that shot. The answer is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was in the news very recently for that $1.1 billion swap. Well, the quiz is a tense one, actually, the way I see it, because teams are taking positives and negatives. Nagpur, of course, just has their head in front because they do have a good lead with 35, which is their kitty. As we move on to the next frontier, It's time for us to do a little bit of lateral thinking. $10, the value of a right answer. -5 if you get it wrong. You got to give me an overall answer. And if you're ready, here's the first one on your screen. Take a look. Here it comes.
Take my hand, we'll walk together. I'll be there.
What if the sun's energy was this easy to capture?
Take my hand, we'll dream together.
Oh, they're giving it a go. It's a huge Indian conglomerate, which is going to be your answer. You got to really look deep within that 1 rupee note. Go ahead. Let's see what you make of the answer. Massive Indian conglomerate. Vadodara are giving it a go. They need a 10-pointer. Go ahead.
Reliance Industries.
We'll give you a -5. Teams are taking half chances. Give you a -5. That's a -5 to Vadodara on that, and they misfire on the buzzer. You had an answer in your mind. The Mercantile Limited, no. Well, I'll give you a clue. Well, the clue was actually in Bombay High. If you zoom into that 1 rupee photograph, 1 rupee note, you will find Bombay High, which was discovered by Bharat Petroleum. That gentleman there, Mr. Vardarajan, heads Bharat Petroleum, and that's a very famous advertisement from Bharat Petroleum. I think they got the petroleum drift right, but they quite didn't think of I said huge Indian conglomerate. Well, as we go to the next one, and this could be an interesting answer. Here we go.
Computational linguistics. Computational linguistics. It starts with great praise for Sanskrit. It's the most computer-friendly language. Okay? And a lot of money, a lot of Western scholars in different fields interested in this. So Indians get very excited. A whole lot of grants start coming. JNU Sanskrit department is one of the next.
A lot of Sanskrit being spoken out there, and Nagpur are on the buzzer.
Panini.
Panini, explain.
He wrote the grammar for Sanskrit, and the Ashtadhyayi is his book.
Ashtadhyayi is a book which relates to Panini. He gave the grammar for Sanskrit in one form, and all of this will lead you to Panini. That's a stamp of Panini. +10. Nagpur will get a +10. A cracker of an answer. As we go on to the next one, you got to work this one out. Nagpur are really beginning to nail their place in the national final. Here we go.
The waters about them became opaque. You could not see in them. So having big blue eyes like a classical marine dolphin is of no value. They had to develop an alternative method for navigating, for locating one another, and for locating their prey.
So in this muddy and silted water, the dolphins' eyes became virtually useless. Over generations, they shrank into little more than tiny slits, just able to tell light.
Vadodara are giving it a go. From the famous blind dolphins to something historic to another clue. +10 if you get it right. Go ahead, Vadodara.
The Irrawaddy dolphins in the Chilika Lake and the nearby region of Myanmar and India.
-5 to you. Well, they went on to the Chilika Lake route. Not a bad route to take, but that's a -5 to you, Vadodara. Well, the answer is the Indus. You have the Indus Valley right there on your screen. I said, great history. You should have worked it from there. The source of the Indus, of course, and the famous Indus blind dolphins. They're known as the Indus blind dolphins. Tough one. As we go on to the next one, the final one here today. And we have for you, of course, a movie song coming up here. Technically a movie song. And along with that, a couple of clues. You got to give me an overall connect, which is not tough. Think before you press the buzzer. Here we go.
शुभ सुख चैन की बरखा बरसे भारत भाग्य के जागा पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा चंचल सागर विंध हिमालय नीला जमुना गंगा तेरे नित गुण गाए तुझसे जीवन पाए सब तन पाए आशा सूरज बनकर जग पर चमके भारत नाम सुभागा.
Very workable. There's a flag. There's a medal.
Want for answer. What do you want for the answer?
I want an answer.
No, like a person, a company.
Work it out. The flag is a giveaway. The medal is a big clue. It's a specific anthem. They are going for it. On my right is Goa.
Is it Subhash Chandra Bose?
Slightly better answer. Go on. Move on. Something more than Subhash Chandra Bose if you can give me. You're on the right track.
That's the Indian National, Congress flag. And
You got to give me a better answer. The medal is a specific medal. It's an honorary decoration. There is a army that you can see there. All of that will lead you to an answer. Can't give it to you on just Subhash Chandra Bose. That's one element.
The Indian Army, the Azad Hind Fauj was his...
Give it to you. Give it to you on Azad Hind Fauj. I was waiting for you for that key answer. That is the flag of Azad Hind. And that is the Azad Hind medal, which was constituted by Subhash Chandra Bose. And of course, the Azad Hind anthem from the Azad Hind Fauj. 10 points to Goa. They get another 10. But they really have to do a lot more than that if they are going to challenge Nagpur. Nagpur seem to be in supreme form in the third semi-final here. So we could well have a team from Central India in the national final if the other teams don't play out of their skins. Here's a look at where the teams stand. RBIQ quotient coming up now. At this point in time, we've got the team from Panaji on 15. And leading the quiz with 45 points is the team from Nagpur. 45 to 15. The game is still open, but Goa probably will really have to play out of their skins to make a comeback from here. As we move on to the final frontier, time for us to play Clue Boxes. On your screen, you will get a question and a couple of boxes which will tell you how many letters are there in the answer. If you get it right, you get a plus 10. You get it wrong, you get a minus 10. 4 questions common to the 4 teams on stage. Here's an example before we move on. Now, home of the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and other leading American financial institutions usually used as a reference to the American stock market. That's easy, yeah? Wall Street, okay? Now, the remaining questions won't be as easy. 4 of them will follow, plus 10 if you get it right, minus 10 if you get it wrong. Nagpur on 45, Panaji on 15. Game not over as we get started with the first one. And in the first couple of questions, it'll appear with the question on the screen as we progress. And on question number 1, on your screen, here it comes. The currency of this place was changed from hryvnia to ruble in June 2014.
Ukraine.
Ukraine will give you a minus 10. Well, Ukraine will give you a minus 10, Panaji. They went for it, they played aggressive, but they will get a minus on that. Crimea is the answer that I was looking for. As we go on to the second question, hands on the buzzer. Suddenly they've come down to 5 now, so the other teams will start fancying their chances. On your screen, question 2, now. Italian businessman who started a securities exchange company to swindle $20 million from investors in a scheme that got named after him.
Ponzi.
Plus 10. Nagpur, no nonsense. 2 questions remaining. Nagpur playing their game well. On your screen, here it comes. Latnium for Ferengi, franc for Thakur, lita for Bajor, Quatlu for Trillion. These are some of the currencies commonly found in which universe? They're
Star
going
Wars.
for it. On my right is Ahmedabad on the buzzer. What is your answer?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Trek. Star Trek or Star Wars. Star Wars.
Star Trek, Star Wars. Make up your minds, Ahmedabad.
Star Trek.
Is your final answer? Plus 10. The final question. Nagpur are still on the buzzer. They want to score wherever it is possible. On your screen, the final question of semi-final 3 coming up now. It's a financial disease in a sense, arising from large increases in a country's income, primarily associated with a natural resource discovery. Which place or type is this named after?
Dutch disease.
The Dutch disease.
Yeah.
If there is one team in our last 3 semi-finals that looks supremely well prepared, with a score of over 70 in a format like this, and it's going to be really, really challenging for the other teams to dislodge them, going into that national final in full force. Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, Nagpur. Put your hands together for it. It reminds me of the days when Sehwag and Sachin went out to open and how the opponents used to feel. That's how they've played here today. They've come blazing with all guns and really left nothing to chance for the other teams. Here's a final look at where the teams stand on what we call RBIQ quotient. On your screen, here it comes. 65 is an amazing score to put up, the highest qualifying score to a national final from the 3 semi-finals so far. We've still got Eastern India to come, and in any quiz, the Eastern region can be a complete threat. But for the moment, the team from the West Zone going through is Nagpur, and the other teams really not able to measure up to what could be called a gale storm at RBIQ. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, 4 outstanding teams. Let's not forget, they have won their respective cities and then won the respective region to be here at the national semi-finals. From over 10,000 plus students, it's not easy to be in the top 4 teams that are in a semi-final. For the moment, ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure and privilege to introduce and welcome on stage here at RBIQ 2015, the Chief General Manager of the Human Resources Management Department of the Central Office of the Reserve Bank of India, Mr. A.K. Sarangi. Please join us on stage, sir, to give away the prizes to our teams. Thank you, sir, for taking time off and being with us. Truly delighted to have you. And we will start with the first prizes being given to the team from Goa, Damodar Higher Secondary School of Science, Ziban Pierce and Akash. Can we hear it for them? Better applause. Well done. As we move across to new era from Vadodara to our team representing them, And as we move across to Ahmedabad, Sant Kabir School firing well on Star Trek finally. And they finished runner-up here today to receive their medals and certificates from our guest of honor. As we move across to our champions here today, well, all I need is 3 words to describe their performance. Vidi, Vini, Vici. They came, they saw, they conquered. Nagpur. Outstanding performance as a champion here today. With 65, they enter the final with a record score. Fantastic. As they make their way into the national final to take on teams from Varanasi and Mangalore. 3 teams identified. Well done. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot for being with us. Truly appreciate your presence at RBIQ. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 3 semi-finals with 3 completely different types of performances. But at the end of the day, 3 outstanding national finalists. Mangalore, Varanasi, and now Nagpur. A week from now, we will be back with you with the Eastern semi-final. That can be a tricky one with teams coming in from all over the East. A region known for its quizzing prowess in India. You certainly would not want to miss watching that one, as we will identify our 4th and final national finalist. But for now, as we congratulate Bhavan's Vidya Mandir from Nagpur, from me, Pick Brain, from all of us here at Doordarshan and the Reserve Bank of India, you were watching RBIQ. Thank you for tuning in.